Hello, YouTubers. Welcome back to the channel. Smishak's Custom Baits. Rick Smishak here. Today, we're going to make some core shot stuff. All right. I had a question on one of my videos this past week about denting issues with core shot baits. Well, there's a reason for that. I don't have a I don't have a shell, but I'll shoot a shell and I'll show you what I mean. But the reason for that is that these rods, okay, these rods go in the mold. See, so we round that's the 1/8 inch rod, right? This this rod, when you lay it in the mold like this, it takes up according to Josh Clark at Angling AI, it takes up half of the gate, right? So you have this rod and then this little bitty layer of hot plastisol um, that solidifies way too early a lot of times. That's um, I found it very difficult to prevent that, especially if you're not using salt. And even if you are using salt, the shells still dent from time to time. Um, the mold shoots absolutely fantastic without the rods in it. So that's an indication that it's another indication that it's an issue with the rods and not just with what you're doing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and shoot this. I'm going to shoot it in the color Mine. I'm going to use remelt. This stuff does not have salt, so you'll see what happens. I never sold a single core shot bait. You know, I'm surprised because I think they look really cool, but for whatever reason they weren't something that sold. And I have 3 different core shot molds, so unfortunately they all shoot great um, as long as you don't have the rods in. The other 2 shoot better than this one does. It's a 3-inch Ned rig. I think it's 3 inches. And then there's they call it the Phantom. I forget what bait that's a knockoff of. But let's go ahead and move the camera over um, and show you a few things. Okay, as you can see, this is the vent side of the mold. You can see there's plenty of venting here. All right, all these little lines like this here, those are vents. They vent out into these deeper lines, and then the air can go out the back. Okay, these are where the rods sit on this end. Okay, they sit in here just like so. All right, there we go, just like that. And then you shoot the mold. One thing I'm going to use here um, to to get the baits off of these rods. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stuff. Okay, there we go. I'm going to spray. What I do is I spray them while they're laying on the paper towel. All right, just like this, roll them back and forth against each other. Okay, and this I've used worm oil, but the worm oil doesn't seem to work as well as this method right here does. Let's spray just a little bit more. There we go. I will be preheating the mold just before the mold's kind of cool, all right? And I'll be using a heat gun that I got off of Amazon. It was half price. This nice DeWalt heat gun. And what I'm going to do is I will lay the rods in here, right? I'm going to take special care to heat this portion of the mold on both sides. This is where the gate is. We want to make sure that stays warm enough to help prevent denting issues. And the denting issues can be pretty bad. um, but when you preheat the mold and the rods, I'll lay the rods in here when I do this. When you preheat the mold and the rods, the denting issue isn't nearly as bad. And if I remember right, I've had a couple of shots where none of the shells, none of the 5, had a dent. And it was only when I preheated the mold and the rods, made sure I heated the injector a little bit. All I need to do is really take the chill off of this stuff, or mostly, except for right here on where the gates are. I'm gonna pay a little bit extra attention to that, and that seems to help quite a bit, or at least it did. I haven't shot these molds since I left Colorado, so we'll see if this same formula works here in Nebraska. The plastic is probably hotter than it needs to be right now. The instructions, there's an instruction sheet that they sent with every core shot mold. I would imagine they still do it, but the instructions say to shoot the shells fast. From 310 to 325. I'm going to shoot for right around 310. And then to hold pressure for 20 seconds, right? And then we'll shoot the core from 350 to 375. I should be able to get it up to, I'll put a little bit of heat stabilizer in with the core material, and I should be able to shoot it between 360 to 375 pretty easily. So let's go ahead and since I can't run the microwave and this heat gun at the same time on this circuit. It'll pop the circuit breaker every time. So let's go ahead and heat this up. I'm going to take the chill off of the injector too. Doesn't necessarily have to be hot. Just needs to be warm to the touch. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and let me go ahead and drop these in. All right, I'm going to do this side first. Now, if you have a hot plate like a griddle or something, you can just set your mold on that and let it warm up. I don't have one, so, and I used to use my torpedo heater, but right now here in Lincoln, diesel is 450 a gallon. So we'll be saying no to the diesel for a while. Got the temperature set at 600 on the heat gun here. Okay, it's not hot. It's not cool anymore. It's warm to the touch. So let's make this other side the same. The rods are hot. The mold isn't very warm yet. I'm going over the gate right now. Because that gate, we want it warm, so as warm as possible here. Well, maybe not as warm as possible. We want it warm, and the rod's pretty warm right there, so that we can avoid the gate freezing off too early. Okay, I think we're ready. I think that's ready. Okay, so we set this back over here. Oh, there we go. Now it's off. All right, let me check the plastisol here. See what the temperature is. Here we go. Yeah, we're gonna need to warm this back up just a little bit. Well, no, actually, no, we're not. We're about 312 right now. So let's go ahead and close up the mold. And because I'm going to give it 8 seconds here. I know my microwave pretty well. I just need a little bit of time to clamp it. All right. Let's double check our temperature again. Okay, that should be pretty good. All right. I didn't get out all my stuff again today, did I? All right, here we go. Fast shot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, there, that should do it. Let's go ahead and there we go. All right. All right, we should be cooled off enough. Let's see how we did here. Oh, there's a dent right there, and there's another one right there, okay? There's a minor one here. Let's go ahead and pull these out and take a closer look. You know, notice how easily the rods slid off that shell. That's because we used that spray. Oops, I don't need those in there. What we need in those. Let's slide these off. They don't slide off quite this well with the worm oil. I'm not sure why. Okay, here we go. All right. So here's our first one. All right. Looks like there's a minor dent right there, but overall that looks pretty good. Okay. Now, as you can see right here, you can see just how little plastic there is around this outside edge right here. Okay. That's why we have issues. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back in. There we go. And the easiest way to get these back in is to line up the egg sac. Right. And we also want to make sure that this end is open. If this end isn't open, see, like that. Yeah, this one's not open either. I just pull off the very tip to open it up. There, that one's open now. Okay. Now this shell shot pretty nicely. There's no, I don't think there's a single dent in this one. Okay. I'm going to put this one back too. And that end is, always make sure that both ends are open. Okay. This one's open, nice. It's nice and open. This tip isn't very open. Again, sometimes there are, sometimes they're not. Right. And this one has a small dent right there. Right. And these small dents, probably like the one here and here, probably wouldn't be there at all if we had salt in this plastic. This one may or may not be there. That end's open. This end isn't. But there's really not much else you can do besides adding salt to the plastic to help prevent these dents. I shot the mold exactly like it said to do it. The instructions did. And I have never really had real great luck with preventing dents completely. Even with salt in, you still occasionally get some dents. Okay, see this one's open, and so is that in. Okay, get this put back in, and this here probably needs to get trimmed up a little bit. There we go. All right. Let me get the other, get the mold clamp, get the other plastic. Okay, Plastisol was at 374. Let's get this shot before it cools off. I did add the heat stabilizer to make sure it didn't burn. Okay, I'm gonna do this nice and gentle. All right, we're full. Hold that pressure a little bit. All right. All right, this will be interesting to see how this turns out. Let's give it just a minute to cool off. All right, let's see how we did here. See what happened. How everything turned out. And, you know, we didn't get, oops, I hit the, we didn't get, even with shooting it exactly like they said, everything's open. You know, we didn't get a core this time. And that's something else that happens from time to time. And I have no idea why that happens. Why when you shoot it, because I mean, I shot this at exactly the temperatures and the temperature ranges that the instructions said to, and we didn't get a single core. Although what's weird is we got a little bit of in that tip down there. So, I mean, but none of the. Oh, I hit it again. See down here we have vents coming right out the end. So I don't understand why, because I mean they weren't plugged. The ends weren't plugged. You can tell because there's little, every one of them has a little purple tip. So I'm wondering if maybe that tip didn't. Well, that doesn't make sense either. I was going to say maybe the tip cooled off too fast, but then why isn't there plastic in the rest of it? You know, because it's not there. It's not there at all. I had a core shot bait laying around here somewhere, but I don't see it. I'm one that actually had a good core. So you can do everything right with this mold, right? Like you can, if you guys have the instruction sheet, you can look at it and see that I did everything exactly the way we should. I made sure both ends of the baits were open, okay, and still didn't end up with a core. So the issue is with the rods in there. The actual core shot part of this. I'm going to have to, if I want to make core shot baits, I'm going to have to do some experimenting off camera and see what exactly it is that's making it so that these aren't so the cores, let's make it so the cores aren't filling. Okay, so you guys saw another video today where things didn't work out the way we planned. Okay, that happens. This is going to take some experimenting, and if you have suggestions or ideas for why those cores didn't fill, please put them in the comments down below. I've fished with a couple of core shot baits, but I haven't caught anything on them yet. So, I mean, I'm not real worried about it, but because obviously, I mean, they didn't sell, so obviously other people didn't want them either. But even though I sold a ton of stick baits, but I never sold a single core shot one. You know, I don't understand that. I don't know if it's the plastisol that I'm using. I wouldn't think that should be an issue though. Back when I first started, I was using Dead On Plastics plastisol, and I didn't have the issue with the cores not filling like this. But I would find that really strange if it was the type of plastic. This was a medium soft blend. I don't know, and neither plastic had salt, so neither color did. So who knows? I've had that happen before, or I've had the cores fill halfway, um, even though I'm shooting them really hot, like that, like it says to. Uh, so no, I forget, and I'm so sorry. I should have looked this up beforehand. But for the gentleman that posed the question, I apologize for not looking up your name, so I could um, give you a shout out. But we'll revisit this soon. I will figure it out and see what's going on. In fact, maybe I'll message Josh Clark and link this video to him so he can see what's going on, and maybe he'll have ideas too. In fact, that's probably a really good idea. So sorry it didn't work out, but the shells shot pretty good for not having salt. They just didn't. The course just didn't fill this time. Don't know what to say. How about this? If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, will you please do so? We're pushing 800 subscribers now. Yes, we're getting there. The analytics on the channel are improving as far as time watched, how much time is being watched compared to what in the past. Same thing with numbers of subscribers, new subscribers. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for everything, for every second you guys watch. Mr. Lewis, thank you. Your sister told me you watch. Thank you, sir. And share the videos if you can. Share them with all the people you know, your enemies, your frenemies, your friends, your relatives, even if you don't like them. We all have one of those. Well, maybe not all of us, but probably a lot of us do. One relative just annoys the crap out of us for whatever reason. But until next time, folks, tight lines, calm waters, and God bless. Back real quick, I did figure it out. The shells are not translucent enough. There is purple plastic all down the center of the baits. I broke them open and looked at them. So in this case, to fix this, I'm going to have to make the shell more translucent. We'll do that again next week, or we'll do this again next week. So till next week, thanks for watching.